Hello everyone, 大家好. Welcome back to AB Chinese, and I know you guys haven't seen my face in a while, but here I am, still alive, still breathing, and we're back with another app review video. This app is a newer app that promises to deliver results by teaching new vocabulary in real-life context with real Chinese media. Now this video is kindly sponsored by Don't Chinese, and they are offering you guys 20% off of their subscriptions when you use the code AB Chinese. So if by the end of this video you decide this app is right for you, do take advantage of that offer. Now you guys know I like to keep these reviews honest, so while I did agree to do this video, I told them that I would give my honest opinion whether that's positive or negative, and they will also not be able to see this video before it gets published. So in other words, they are seeing this video at the same time you guys are. So with that out of the way, let's get started and see what Don't Chinese has to offer. 我们开始吧. Alright, so when you first open up the Don't Chinese app, you will have the option to choose between simplified Chinese or traditional Chinese. There's also a test you can take to assess your Chinese level, and that test is completely free, so anybody can just go on their website and take it if you're curious about what your Chinese level is. Now normally when I record these videos, I would, do my first impressions and actually record that, which I actually did, but for some reason my screen capture app hates me and decided to delete that footage.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
So let's just go ahead and do some more lessons, and I'll talk through these because now I'm actually kind of familiar with this. So let's go ahead and start the lesson. I'm going to skip over this. So this is where you're going to see when you see a new character. It shows you the character, the pronunciation, with the stroke order. If you want to hear the audio, you can just click on the audio icon. Yeah. You can save it to your favorites. The next section is pretty cool. It shows you the evolution of all these characters, alright? So this is something I was even kind of fascinated by because I never learned this. We have a definition, of course, that's expected, and the common words with that character. Yeah. So this is a pretty useful tool here too, because you want to focus on the most common words and you want to be able to see how this character can be used practically. And then we have component uses. What this will show you is which characters use this component inside that character. And then finally we have sources at the bottom, because as we all know, any good academic literature should cite their sources. Okay, how many days are there in November? 11月有几天? This is something the guys at Don't Chinese did tell me about too, is that because these sentences are all taken from real literature and not manually generated or reviewed, sometimes you will run into errors. And when you do, the users are encouraged to report, so you can tell the developers here what's wrong with this sentence if there is an issue. Alright? Here's a different exercise. Tap the word that should be removed from the sentence. So you read through the sentence. 他为什么这样做呢? 好几. So the last word is extra.
他为什么这样做呢?
Okay, and that's a complete sentence. 我的名字这样写. Choose the image that matches the text. So this is how you write my name. Guessing the middle one. Yep. 对的，就这样. Here's a speaking exercise. So we're going to tap the icon and then speak. 对的，就这样. And it'll show you that it spoke it correctly because all of these characters are in green. So let me give you an example of incorrect. I'm going to speak again. 对的，就这样. Oh, I don't know what that was. I'm so sorry.
What the f?
Okay, but anyways, here it shows that the first character was extra. 对的 was correct, they say. The yellow is kind of wrong and the red is really wrong. I'm just at the front. 就在前面. Oh, it's just at the front. 就在前面那里. That is correct. What's the correct one?
就在前面，快点.
Okay, I thought it would be 那里 over there, but instead they translate it as 就在前面. It's just ahead. 快点 is hurry up. So I guess I could report this one. The English translation doesn't match the Chinese sentence. Send feedback. What were you before? 你是什么样?
以前的你是什么样?
This one would be more correctly translated as what were you like before? 什么样 is, okay, it says what kind, but it's also what were you like. Attributes, characteristics, those are the things you're questioning when you say 什么样. So sometimes they give you some weird sentences. This is like something that Duolingo would give you, right? And if you use Duolingo, you know what I'm talking about. They have some weird sentences in there. Okay, so I hesitated on this sentence because at first I thought it doesn't sound right. I would say 也可能是你最好的朋友 not 可能也是你最好的朋友 But then I thought about it. There is a time and place where this would be right. So I think the reason that we run into this issue is because these are taken from real sentences, right? In context. Except we're looking at it outside of context. So in a certain context, this would be completely normal, but reading it outside context, it does sound a little weird. Okay, so this is a reading comprehension, kind of. Oh, and look at this. It says the source is from the HSK1 practice test. I guess they got permission to use that. 他儿子今年20岁，是个大学生。他儿子多大了？20岁。你认识他吗？是的，他们都是我的老师。Wait, should be a picture of teachers?
2 hours later.
他们都是我的老师。Oh, here it is. These images could be higher resolution. It's really hard to see that. It says teacher's corner. I can read it now, but I didn't see it the first time I glanced through. All right, so we completed this lesson. It shows you what you've learned. And then finally at the bottom here, now this is the key point here. It shows you Chinese media that are suitable for your level. So let's take a look. For example, the first one, 可以吗? This is from Chinese Buddy and 81% comprehensible. Wait, where's the Chinese? Okay, this is a little weird. Let me find another one.
你爸爸多大？
How old is your
小
baby?
明，你爸爸多大了？
我爸爸10岁了。
你再想想，你爸爸多大了？
是真的，他是从我出生的那一天开始做爸爸的。
Okay, this is actually pretty funny. So the teacher asked Xiaoming, how old is your dad? And Xiaoming's like, 10 years old. And the teacher's like, what's wrong with you? Think about it again. And the kid's like, well, yeah, he started becoming my dad when I was born. So this is better content if you're going to use this. So now let's explore some of the other functions of this app. If you go on the menu tab here, you can see the media is the second one after learn. So let's take a look at the media tab. Okay, let's watch this video. Treeman is actually a channel that I watch. They make a lot of really heartwarming videos. They also do some pranks occasionally. So you can see in the media player, the text actually does follow the video and it will show you the Chinese. If you tap on the characters, the pronunciation will open. You tap on it again, then you get the definition. You tap on it again,
打，
then you get the normal character information that you would get if you were learning it. So it shows you the definition, the stroke order. It even breaks down the components. For example, the left component is the hand, and then the right part is the ding sound. You can even do a little, look at some example sentences in this tab, or you can even do a little writing practice. That's all the same.
自己再掂量掂量。我给他回个电话，你先走了，拜拜。
If you guys are looking for real Chinese media to watch, I actually do recommend this channel. I really enjoy watching their videos. And of course, it's all native Chinese speakers because they film in China. Okay, I guess since I laughed, I have to explain this video. So the kid says, 阿姨，我能不能摸一下这个狗狗? So, can I touch this? Can I pet this dog? But the kid called her 阿姨, which is actually kind of normal for a kid to call an older female. But I guess this particular girl is on the younger side. So she says 叫姐姐, which is what you would call a younger female, because 阿姨 makes you feel old for ladies. And then the boy continues to call her 阿姨 and says, 我能不能摸一下这个姐姐? Can I pet this sister? I don't know where they find this, but this is actually the kind of media you want to consume. This is very, very real life. I was going to say some of them are some of the children ones, I don't know. I don't particularly like this, but maybe this is your style. Yeah, this kind of stuff is a little weird. Songs can be good for learning, but I think that it's hard to hear the pronunciations properly in songs. And you should know this because if you listen to songs in your mother tongue, there's a lot of times where you can't hear or you can't understand what they are saying, even in your mother tongue. So I'm just saying, putting that out there. The dictionary tab is pretty useful. I wouldn't use it as a list to learn. For example, if you go to most common characters in movies, I wouldn't go down this list and learn them one by one because that's not an effective way to learn. The whole point of this app is you're trying to learn in context, right? You want to learn these as you encounter them in the media. But these lists are really useful for you to fill in the gaps. So if you're going through this list and you know already most of the top 100, let's say, and then you're going through and then, 42 is not a character you know, then maybe you want to learn that because you know that at list 42, this is a very common character that you're going to encounter for whatever reason. Maybe you just didn't encounter it yet. And if we go through settings, you can't change the voice on here.
我是小小，我可以当你的学习助手吗？
This sounds like anime or something. So you can adjust the scope of how quickly you want to learn. You can enable speaking exercises or disable them. Study lists. We've been using the Dong Chinese default list, but you can also change the list into other lists if you want to study HSK, for example. You can do traditional characters. I already talked about this. You can use 注音 instead of Pinyin. You can also change the font. Okay, I would change it to Kaiti because I've mentioned this before. It's my favorite font for learning Chinese because I think it's the closest to handwriting. So lastly, they do offer a little mini course on Pinyin, and I know a lot of people will care about this, but they do offer 注音. So if you want to learn 注音, which is what they use in Taiwan, they do offer that as well. I can't really comment on how good it is because I don't know it, and a lot of people from mainland won't know it. So let's look at Pinyin. Pronunciation-wise, it sounds perfect. Let's look at the tone trainer.
动物，动物，表演，
Okay, so I know it should be the third one technically, but it's pronounced as the second one. So let's do the second one.
表演，突然，
Well, I'm not going to do all of this, but I know this is a really good tool for a lot of you guys because a lot of people, they talk about, I can't distinguish between certain tones or I can't say them. So this will be a good practice for those of people who have trouble with Chinese tones. Let's try the speaking exercises. 我喜欢中国菜. Let me try saying this with all the wrong tones. 冰淇淋很甜. It's a little bit more forgiving than it should be, I think. Let me just do one more lesson in case I missed anything. Here's another one of those really weird exercises. Why am I writing boo 5 times? But then I realized this is why. If you look at the source, Open Subtitles 2018. So this is from probably a video where someone's saying, no, 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 no. And they just took that clip, called it a sentence, and put it in here. But again, machines can't really recognize that this is a waste of time like, humans can. So this is interesting. I just realized where they get these pictures. So these are real pictures from the web. And look at the source, AI Challenger caption dataset. So I'm guessing that this Chinese is the caption for this picture. And it looks like there's some Chinese writing on the bottom of this picture, so it's probably from Chinese internet. So that is really where the potential in this app lies. Everything in here is just real media. It's none of the textbook stuff that doesn't appear in the real world. It's actually appearing in the real world. Okay, so I've been playing around with Dong Chinese for an entire afternoon now. So now the question is, does it solve the problem it claims to solve? So of course the problem is we've all taken vocabulary lists and just memorized it. And, maybe we've half of these words we've never even seen in the real world. And to that regards, Dong Chinese does really do a good job of solving that. Every single word you learn in here will have a ton of example sentences taken from the real world, either from, subtitles or HSK tests or some other sources. And on top of that, you also get videos that incorporate these words. So you'll never be learning a character by itself in isolation. So the issue is solving that problem also leads to other problems of its own. Because you're not manually writing these sentences, right? You're not checking them to make sure they have proper grammar or that the translations are correct between Chinese and English. And you can't manually translate thousands of these sentences that are taken from the internet. So you will run into errors, and I've caught quite a few errors in my afternoon with this app. But having said that, this function is quite similar to Viki Learn Mode, and it's actually better than Viki Learn. Viki is a website where you can watch Asian dramas, and if you turn on the Learn Mode, it basically gives you subtitles in both languages, in English and also in the original language. And on top of that, you can hover over the words and get the pronunciations and the definitions. Now, Viki actually makes a lot of errors. Like, I would say maybe 70-80% of it is correct, but like 20 to 30% maybe has problems. This app does not make nearly as much errors as Viki does, so that's already an improvement. But it's still not at the point where you can have 100% confidence in it, you know. So I would say if you're using this app, you have to take everything with a grain of salt and realize that this is a machine that's providing these translations. They're not manually reviewed by a human. But one way this can be solved is actually through the community. So there's actually a report button on every single one of the questions you'll find in this app. If you find a sentence that has an issue or bad pronunciation, bad translation, you can click the report button and report it. This will help weed out some of the bad examples, and as the user base grows, this should make it more accurate. And the last part of that bit is, this app also helps you find material that's suitable for your level. And finding content at your level will help you stay encouraged, help you progress faster. Aside from that core function of this app, let's also talk about just some of the general pros and cons of this app. The biggest pro I found with this app was actually I loved how extensively they explained every single character, showed the evolution of that character, and you know, the sound and the meaning component. That's really important, I think, to learning and to understanding Chinese at a deeper level. So now let's talk about cons. If you watch my previous videos, you might be surprised that I haven't talked about a certain point, which is grammar. There's grammar missing from this app, but the reason I never pointed it out was because the app never promised to teach grammar. It's meant to be a tool to help you find content at your level and learn with those content. So for that reason alone, that means that this cannot be an app you rely solely on. This is a supplementary app. It cannot be a primary course that you follow. One other thing I want to complain about is the quality of the media. Because since they are pulling everything from real media, then the quality of the media really impacts the quality of the app. And I think it's kind of a mixed bag, because on one hand, I did find some that are very good, like that one joke that made me laugh. That's the kind of content you want to see. Very realistic, real-life examples of just people talking. By listening to that, you'll know what kind of sentences are commonly used. What kind of words do people usually use when they want to express X, Y, Z? But the media I didn't like were the ones, there were too many songs. There were too many children's songs. And maybe I'm just being nitpicky and maybe songs are not for me. But I imagine that songs are not for a lot of people too. So let's talk about the value proposition. Should you get this app? The good news is this app does have a free version. First of all, you can try this app completely free with all the features unlocked for 1 week, 7 days. And then after that, you get one lesson every 12 hours. And after that, the prices are not the most expensive, but not the cheapest either. So if we look at the annual price, it's $80 annually. You know, if you use that code ABChinese, you will get a 20% discount. That'll bring it down to $64. But what you're really paying for, what you're getting for that money, is an app that will curate all of this material for you. Because technically, you could go out on the internet and just find the stuff yourself, right? You could go find a Chinese video and look up every single word and then find the definition and find the pronunciation yourself. But they're making it more convenient for you by just having that information play along with the video. And if you don't know a word, you can click on it right away and know what it means. So who is this app for? First of all, I don't think I would recommend this to complete beginners, because when you're just a complete beginner, you need to get those foundational things down right. If you're intermediate or especially upper intermediate advanced and you feel like you've learned a lot of material but you don't know how to apply it, then this app will be perfect for you. The second group of people I think this will be perfect for, and I'm surprised I'm saying this, are people who are fascinated by Chinese characters. Because I actually didn't think this app was going to be so heavily focused on Chinese characters. And I guess it's not, technically, but there's a ton of information on Chinese characters that I just found fascinating. Even for me, I found it fascinating. So if you're someone who really appreciates the beauty of Chinese characters, I think you'll learn a lot in this app. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That was my extensive review on Don't Chinese. Let me know in the comments if you plan on trying this out and what other apps you want me to try out. I do plan on making a few more app reviews videos before the end of the year, and I know a lot of you guys want to see study tip videos and handwriting videos, so I'll plan on making a few of those too. That's it for now. Hope you guys stay safe, enjoy your summers, and I'll see you guys next time. 下次再见喽，拜拜。